Hi, I'm Stephanie Laska. I lost 140 pounds and created Dirty Lazy Keto. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy the show. Today's topic is, what is keto friendly? What is keto friendly? Is it keto? Is it keto? Is it keto friendly? Is this keto? I've been asked that like 8 million times in my life, which I'm very grateful for the question. And I get it too. It's stressful. You want to do what's right. You want to be eating the right things. You want to stay on track. So it's normal that you want to ask, hey, is this keto? Is this keto friendly? Should I have it? Should I not? Makes sense, right? So I bet you have that question. And if you do sometimes, give it a thumbs up. That way I know you're here and alive. And before we get started on this topic about how to figure out if stuff is keto or not, let's spin the wheel and see what kind of prize we're going to be giving away. Because we love prizes. We love prizes. It makes things fun and exciting. Woo! Here we go. A fridge magnet. So today's prize from a lucky person chosen at random from the comments from participating will win a Dirty Lazy Keto Food Pyramid Fridge Magnet. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you tell me in the comments. Say, I want to win that. And then also just participate. Make lots of comments. Lots and lots and lots. And of course, the big thumbs up. That way, everybody can have fun and get involved. It's fun to win prizes. At least I think so. Well, some of the questions that I think people have is they say, well, it's kind of like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? When you talk about what's keto friendly, what is keto, I like to kind of compare it to that because I think, is it keto? Is it not? I'm not sure if there's a hard and fast rule that is going to just answer that for everybody. It's really not. It's not necessarily a straight and narrow. So during my journey of losing 140 pounds, I had to figure this stuff out. Sometimes I would think something's keto. I'd be like, ooh, yeah, this is very low carb. But then it wouldn't help me so much when it came to my weight loss. But then other times there were more important issues besides weight loss that I had to consider, like getting through a craving, for example, or just feeling normal, like everybody else, for example, or just keeping it fun and lively and exciting. So there's a lot of things that we have to consider when we answer the question, is this keto? It's not necessarily what you might think. Especially new folks, right? When you're just starting the journey, it's pretty common that people go to the grocery store and they're like, well, I found this ice cream. It's always like the ice cream, right? Right? And people are like, well, it says keto, so therefore I must buy it because I'm on the keto diet. That happens to a lot of people. And then they go home and they eat lots of the ice cream, the whole pint, the whole package, whatever. And then they're like, hey, I didn't lose any weight. And then they get all sad. Does that happen to anybody else besides me? Yes, it has. I know I bought this lovely package of ice cream here just to show on the podcast. And then look what happened. Woo, I don't know where they all went. I'm not sure. Well, can you handle products like this? Let me know in the comments because not everybody can. And either way, it's okay. So whether or not this works for you, having a treat like this or not, that is up to you. And you have to kind of figure that out for yourself. And I know that's frustrating. You want me to say, yes, it says keto, so go for it. But that's not always how things work. Right? It's kind of like beauty, right? Like I was saying, what is keto lies in the eyes of the beholder. So think of it that way. There's no real necessarily? There's not necessarily a hard and fast rule that I can share with you that's going to make you feel better. But sometimes there's a food that's important to you, right? Like here we have keto granola. Like people love granola. They get all excited about keto cereal. And they see the word keto. They get excited about that. And they see Lakanto, and that's a company that a lot of us trust and believe in. I know I do. I love this company. So if this, granola or this type of cereal is important to me, and I look at the macronutrients on the back of the package, and I say, okay, this has 10 carbs minus 3 fibers minus 5 sugar alcohols. Okay, so that's like 2 grams of net carbs per 1/3 cup. So I can make that decision for myself if that's going to work for me. Some people may not like, some of the ingredients, but that's okay. You get to do you. And I think that's the most important part in what I'm trying to share with you today. So if the question is this keto? This happens a lot, right? Especially with popular food items. Oh, such as these, right? The Atkins products. People are very attracted to these at first, or, throughout their keto journey, especially in Dirty Lazy Keto. And they say, oh, I can have M&Ms and I can have chocolates and I can have all these deliciousness, right? So again, do the net carbs. Always take a look at the nutrition label on the back of the package. Take a look at the ingredients and then ask yourself, am I comfortable with this? Is this going to work for me? Is it important to me? Sometimes, even if the product isn't necessarily wholesome, right? Like these. It's not like it's all natural ingredients, right? There's all sorts of craziness in here. But sometimes, like I was suggesting earlier, there's things more important than being perfect on the keto diet. Things like getting through a craving, for example. It's not like you have to eat chocolate M&Ms all day long. No, ma'am. No, sir. But you may find that just having these products around when you need it, right? Like a sugar-free ice cream cone, for example, and being able to put some low-carb ice cream on top, it might make you feel like normal, like you're just like everybody else, like you're not missing out, for example. Does anyone feel that way sometimes when they have these products? I know for me that's been the case. Plus they taste yummy, let's be real. I'm going to just throw that one out there. We know these things taste good. And we miss products, right? There's products in our past, like cookies. I know I was a giant cookie fanatic when I was a heavier person. When I was close to 300 pounds, cookies were a huge part of my life. I made cookies regularly, like after school or, after work. And I would make the whole batch and then eat the whole batch. So cookies were a comfort food to me, and they were an important part of celebrations. And every once in a while now, even though I've lost the 140 pounds, I still want to have a cookie. So does that mean I can't have one? And that way I just quit the diet or quit the lifestyle? I don't think so. I feel like, we're pretty lucky with Dirty Lazy Keto and that there's so many products coming out on the market, like these fun little cookies. Now, granted, you guys are keeping in mind some of these pros and cons, right? You're taking a look at the nutrition label and you're saying, okay, we got 12 grams of net carbs per serving, and I got 3 fibers I can subtract, so now we're at 9. And then sugar, alcohol, I get to subtract 6, so now I'm down to 3. So you're thinking, okay, 3 net carbs. That's not so bad, I can handle that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Before you get too happy, take a look at the serving size, my friends. And all of these specialized dirty keto type commercial products, the serving size can be very tricky and upsetting. Let's add that upsetting part. Here, the serving size is 4 cookies. 4 cookies. Are you serious? I don't know about you, but I'm going to have trouble eating 4 cookies. So is that keto? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it keto friendly? Can I just eat the 4 cookies? Can I stop at that point? What about you? You've got to know yourself in these situations. It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all, right? I think that the low-carb, keto-friendly bread is another area of stress for people, especially when you're new. You think, okay, what do I need to get started? What do I need to get started? I go to the grocery store, I buy out everything keto, and I came home and I ate it all, including a bunch of bread. I continued to eat sandwiches. I continued to eat grilled cheeses and toast and all the things I used to eat. I'm just substituting now keto products. Now, is that going to work for you? You tell me in the comments. How much of these products are you having right now, and are they causing you any problems? Why don't you share that in the comments? And if you're having a challenge, share that as well. Because I don't know if it's so cut and dry, right? Is anyone thinking this is cut and dry, that you can just swap them? You might be able to, but maybe not. Here's another example of breads. Here's the Sola brand. This last one I showed was Hero brand. Hero is providing the new sandwich rolls at some of the Subways. I know, right? And they sent me some samples to try. Hello, Lucky. And it tastes pretty fabulous, if I say so myself. And then here we are with the Sola products, which a lot of you guys like. But man, can you think of a criticism? How about the price? Y'all can see I got a lot of yellow dollar off stickers on my Sola bread that I bought just for this video. These are cinnamon raisin bagels, but I was also looking at hot dog buns, hamburger buns. I wanted to buy them all so I could show you today, but I'm like, hello, these are getting a little pricey for Stephanie because I'm very cheap, right? So I was thinking, can we afford all this stuff? Is it really necessary? Do I have to have keto low-carb bread to make a sandwich? Or to have toast? What do you guys think? This is like a tricky question, right? That's why I said, is this keto? Is this keto friendly? It's kind of a deep issue. There's a lot of pros and cons. And I will actually link up a video after this that explores more dirty keto foods. But I also have one I can link up for you guys about how to make a sandwich without using bread. I know, I have a whole video on that. Who knew it could be that exciting? But yes, it's something to think about. Some of these products are specific to being in the United States or regional. You know, we have people watching and listening, participating from all over the world. Folks in Czechoslovakia, in Australia, shout out, overseas. Lots of Canadians, New Zealanders, people in Europe. So if you are in a foreign country, when I say foreign, I just mean other than the United States, because that's where I live, some of these products might be very unfamiliar to you. So when I start bringing up like Jimmy Dean sausage, what is this, Simply Scrambled? You're like, what is up with those people? Why are they buying this expensive, like, cup of noodles looking food that you add water or egg or something weird to and then call it keto breakfast? I know, right? It's crazy. Depending on where you live, you're going to have all sorts of different types of products available. Some might say keto on them, but some might not. I just found this as proof to show you what random things you can find at the store. And the ingredient list is super long. Okay, all sorts of things that I can't even read with glasses. That's how sad it is. And it's low carb. It's 3 grams of carbs for the whole package, which to me sounds exciting. But on the flip side, there's a long list of chemicals and ingredients that sound really scary. You may or may not care. I don't really. But what's trippy is that this is just eggs. It's just eggs and sausage. So do we need to buy this? Is this keto friendly? Must you have this to make your journey a success? Probably not. So I know it's fun to kind of pick at some of these products, but you know, you got to pick and choose what's going to be most important to you. While I was on vacation, I came across this package of keto granola bars, and I had been doing a lot of hiking. I was in Hawaii on vacation. I know, I felt so lucky. But we were doing lots of hiking, and I had this backpack full of things I was carrying around, and I thought, oh my gosh, I could bring a granola bar with me on a hike. How convenient and cool is that? So I went hog wild and bought this delicious pack of Monk keto granola bars, peanut butter. They're very good, I have to tell you. Very expensive too. But in the moment, I decided it was okay. But it's funny, I left one in here. I forced myself to leave one so I could show you how small it is. It's so small. It's just sad. But you know what? It was more of the idea of it. And it worked for me in the moment, and I felt like it was important. So for me, that was keto friendly. And if you have a product, please share. I know that there's something I'm not covering today. I'm going to link up another dirty keto video afterwards. But I know you guys love talking about food and especially sharing products. So make sure you're participating so that you can win a prize. I know you want that fridge magnet. How many of you guys like the Quest brand cookies, the keto-friendly cookies? How many of you guys like these? Do you have a brand or a flavor cookie you like? You know, we talked about cookies earlier. This here has 19 grams of carbs, minus 9 grams of fiber, and then 6 grams of erythritol. So you get to subtract all that, which is a whole lot of math, right? So 9 plus 6 is what, 15? Take away from 19 total. So you got a net carb balance of 4 grams of net carbs. I have a video on how to do net carbs if you need help with that, if I went too fast. Just let me know in the comments and I'll give it to you. But hello, this cookie is quite small. And I know some of you track calories. I don't. But this has 250 calories in it, and it's a teeny tiny cookie. The serving size is just 1 cookie. And for me, that's just not enough. I shared that earlier. But seriously, I would rather, if I'm going to, get involved in some of these deliciousness, I might prefer to make something myself that's more affordable, that's, maybe with some ingredients I already have laying around, and something that might fill me up. And you guys keep seeing me. I'm sipping my this very special chocolate shake here. And I want to point out where this is from in case you're interested, because I bet you are. So if you have a copy of the Dirty Lazy Keto 5-ingredient cookbook. You can find the recipe to what I'm drinking here, this beautiful chocolateness. You can find the recipe for it on page 195. And here's a picture. And there's a surprise ingredient in there. Do you see it? What is that? That is correct. Who guessed it? That is an avocado in the picture. Chocolate with avocado, people. Who knew? But here's what's fun about this is it fills me up and it offers deliciousness, but also with some fiber and some healthy fats in there. And no, it's not perfect. It's not like all, wholesomeness. There's some fakeness going on. I've got, some protein powder. I've got some sugar-free sweetener in here. All sorts of deliciousness. Mix it up. But this is going to taste good and fill me up for longer than that Quest cookie, for example. And it's easy to make. It took me like 2 seconds. I was just coming up to start the video today, and I thought, I'm kind of hangry. What could I make for myself? And I had some avocados laying around, so I came up with that. But keep that in mind. What is keto-friendly definitely is in the eyes of the beholder. But I understand that there's certain things that just, you miss, especially when you're starting a keto diet. You miss old traditions like eating cereal. We talked about that earlier with the granola. A lot of you are like, well, I saw this keto wonder-friendly cereal, WonderWorks at the, Walmart or whatever. And some of the stuff is like $8 a box. And it tasted pretty good. So if it's important to you and you feel like you need to have it in your weight loss program, or in your lifestyle and makes you super happy to spend that money and buy this product, then you should. Keep in mind that there's the nutrition label on the side may not always capture a full, net carbness of what's happening. With the keto-friendly WonderWorks cereal, a lot of people are surprised to find that there's allulose as a sweetener, and allulose won't be spelled out necessarily in the nutrition facts label. Very sneaky. So read the whole package. It's a little confusing. I got a whole video on allulose, but that can be a thing, right? I don't want to get too sidetracked. But if it's important to you and you feel like that's going to make or break your success, then either make the cereal yourself. It's easy to do. I've got videos for it. Or invest in some kind of product that will help you to stay on track. You don't have to have it, though. You don't have to go out and buy Carb Quick or, keto-friendly cereal or any of these Quest cookies or things that I'm showing you. Absolutely not. You can lose weight on just regular groceries from the regular grocery store. In fact, sometimes these products can be a slippery slope. How many of you guys have tried Carb Quick? Have you? I know, it's fun, isn't it? As soon as you try it, you're like, are you serious? Where has this been my whole life? Like, people freak out the first time they discover this. Because it really does make pancakes and muffins and rolls and all sorts of fun things that maybe you thought you could never have again. And they're pretty tasty and low in net carb. But here's the thing about Carb Quick, and I love Carb Quick. I know the owner. I've interviewed him on a podcast that you can watch. And I think it's an amazing product. But I also think it's something to be wary of, because if you're just relying on substitutions all the time, like making keto cookies and keto cereal and keto pancakes and all this like bread, heavy starch type foods, for some of us, not all, but for some of us, it can kind of perpetuate some old behaviors. And that's something to be aware of. If you are a person, a lot of folks eat like cereal before bed every night. They're not even hungry, but it's like a habit they've had. Does anyone do that? Or like I said, I made cookies after school or after work, and then I eat the whole package. So some of us have triggers, right? And these are things we have to be aware of. You have to be aware of them, because just having a little bit of Carb Quick and like getting familiar with those delicious pancakes again. What happens if you don't have Carb Quick available the next time you have that craving? That's something that you have to decide for yourself. But it's something to think about, right? Because, let's face it, some of these are dangerous foods that can lead us down the dark path. I'll share one that's a struggle for me. It's chips. Have you guys tried the Quest chips? Oh my gosh, they're so good. Well, maybe they're not good for some of you, but when you're desperate and you really need a chip, they're pretty dang tasty, right? Now, I'm going to show you something funny. I have empty bags here of Quest chips, 2 different flavors, the tortilla and then what's this one here? Looks like ranch, right? And they're empty. That's because I was going to show them to you and then I ate them. Because just having them around in the house and seeing them, it like makes my mouth water. I'm like, oh, I would like to have some chips right this second. Thank you very much. So a lot of us can't handle being around certain foods. They can be like difficult to do the portion control, especially with a bag this size. You're all, okay, let's take a look at the portion size. It is 1 ounce, which is 20 chips. I don't think so. I'll be eating the whole bag, right? And there's 4 servings in this bag. Mind you, a lot of the bag is air. So 4 servings is like this much divided by 4. But you do you. If it's going to work for you and get you through that moment, you know, of buying some kind of fun product, like maybe these protein puffs by Twin Peaks. If you really have to have a cheese puff and just having a serving of these can get you through it, I say do it. As long as it's not sending you down the dark path, right? Like for me, another negative example might be the brownie mixes. I used to eat so much of what I'm talking about, these desserts, as like a binge type habit, that these are something I have to be careful of, these quick fix, quick instant mix. The next thing you know, I'm eating the whole batch because it's just so fast. I would much rather make it from scratch instead of making like a full package of instant mix. I'd rather make the brownies myself. Like here's an avocado bolt brownie mix. I know they're so good. And this is in the Dirty Lazy Keto No Time to Cook cookbook. If you have a copy, go to page 209 for the recipe. But it takes a little time, right? You have to get out all the ingredients. You got to mix it up. You got to heat up the oven. So by the time you're doing all that, you're a little bit more in control than, let's say, this Instamatic add 2 things and then you're like, oh, getting all crazy. Maybe you're different, but that's just how I am. You know, some Instamatic foods might surprise you. I want to do a shout out to the instant vegetable community because this is what I like to argue is a dirty keto food that helps me is I buy things like frozen cauliflower that's already pre-riced. I buy sometimes these zucchini spirals that are already done for me. And yes, they've added some chemicals, you know, whatever. I don't really care. But for me, having these on hand is like amazing. It's like my hero. They've helped me get through a pinch. So broaden what you're thinking of when it comes to dirty keto foods. And think about the serving size too. And take a look at that nutrition label. Because it can be deceiving, right? Like here's some keto, what is this, Jimmy, keto friendly, chocolate fudge pudding. You think, oh yeah, I'm having this. And then you take a look at that nutrition label that you don't want to look at because you're thinking, I can't read it without my glasses. Here, it's got 43 carbs. 43! And then minus 18 fibers, minus, let's see here. Oh, I can barely read it. Sugar, alcohol, 20 grams. So bada bing, bada boom. That's a lot of carbs it's starting out with, but it boils down to 5 net carbs. I don't know. For me, this might be a little bit tricky because I'm thinking it's still starting off with so many carbs, right? 43? Even though you're adding all sorts of mysterious, you know, subtractors, I'm still looking at that 43 and keeping that in my brain. And I'm also looking at that serving size. It's pretty scant. So these are all things I keep in mind when I'm deciding if a food is worth it or not. I mean, is it keto, Jimmy? Is it? I don't know. You tell me. Only you can decide, but Jimmy, I think it's a pass on my end. I mean, after all, what can happen is that you can end up digging yourself into a hole pretty quickly, right? You can start going overboard. It's so easy to think, oh yeah, I'm going to bust out this quick mix, you know, pancake and waffle mix. And then I'm thinking I'll just have one pancake. And the next thing you know, you have a whole stack. This happens. And then all of a sudden you've dug yourself into this hole where the rest of the day you're thinking, I'm hungry, but I can't eat because I had, 8,000 carbs at breakfast. It can be a real sticky situation. So I think that's true for a lot of the foods. And I was trying to show you as many as possible because I feel like this can be helpful, especially like even yogurts. Now you go to the grocery store and it'll say keto, keto. And you're thinking, I got to have that one. Not necessarily. Take a look at the nutrition label of the product that you're shopping for and then make a decision about whether it's right for you. So, fun little products that you think are dirty keto, so innocent. You think, well, yeah, this has a lot of protein in it. I'm having trouble getting protein. It's pretty low in net carb. I think I'm going to go for it and put this in my coffee, like a protein premier pre-made ready mix drink. That's okay. If you feel like that's important to you, then go for it. But other people who are using this as a substitute and maybe not learning how to cook or not learning how to pick out the right foods, those are the folks that might need to kind of backtrack and then maybe get themselves a cookbook and try a little bit at a time to make maybe one meal a week, or learn how to make some keto-friendly breakfast foods that are not that complicated. So you're not relying always on, for example, meal substitution products like the ready-made protein drinks or the ready-made meal replacement bars. These can be tricky, and it perpetuates some of those old habits. So keep that in mind. I mean, yes, it may say keto, right? Something may say keto on the outside, just like this coffee drink I picked up at the store. It's like bulletproof keto. It's so great, But then you take a look at that nutrition label, guys. Don't be afraid to put your glasses on like me and take a close look and then go, oh my gosh, are you serious? It still has so many carbs. Like, this is still going to have 4 carbs for a coffee drink? I don't know if I want that. So that can help you go in the right direction. But again, do what's right for you. Pay attention to those serving sizes. If it's going to help you get through the craving, if it's available to you in your community, if you're able to make a version or buy a version and you feel like it's make or break for your success, then what's the harm? I say, do you figure out what's going to help you on your journey? That's the bottom line here. And know that I'm here to support you. Because these foods can taste familiar. They can help with cravings. They keep things fun. You feel like you're not missing out sometimes. They are certainly lower in carbs than the original product, and they can help you stay on track. Now, yes, we're going to keep in mind that the serving sizes might be small. These products might be hard to find or unavailable in your community. Yes, they might contain weird chemicals or taste weird, and some are still high in carbs. But we're going to keep all that in mind as we weigh the pros and cons and then come up to a final decision about what's right just for you. Because this is your journey, and you get to customize it however you see fit. That's the key with Dirty Lazy Keto, right? You can have your sugar-free cake and eat it too. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You can do it. And remember, I'm going to link up in the video next a whole video just about dirty keto foods, more of these examples. I'll also link up, if you need it, the video about making a sandwich without bread. That sounded interesting, right? Who wants to do that? But that's a very popular one. But know that you are not alone in this journey. I'm here to support you. I've got plenty of resources to help you. You don't have to have these products. You can make them yourself or buy regular groceries at the store and get through these cravings and still lose weight. It doesn't matter where you live. So make sure you're on my mailing list. Go to dirtylazyketo.com. Sign in with your email. The first email comes right away. If you don't see it, go to the spam and junk folder. It's totally there. I promise you, it comes right away. So keep in mind, you guys, that Dirty Lazy Keto works because it's flexible, it's honest, and it's easy to do for everybody. And you can do it forever. So weight loss is possible. It's possible. And it's tasty. You get to have chocolate shakes like this, right? So give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. And keep up the good work. Love you guys. I'm proud of you. I'm here to support you. So keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Are we dancing? Are we dancing?